Hey people, Indra here, 3v3, Katrina Purification Plant, blue team. It's chaos stuff. We got WonderBread with a chaos sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Got some Black Legion here. I think this is the elite scheme. We'll wait for the CSM to show up. Come on now. Yes, it is with the spiky helmets. Alongside, FirefoxXxless is a plague champion. Starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility, and support can also repair. Death Guard elite scheme. Rounding off the team here, Gaius Baltar's Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero. Walking through objects cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption fighting in melee. The Thousand Suns elite scheme. Red team got some Space Marine fellas. DeleD is a force commander, very strong offense fighting in melee combat. Can also tank, disrupt, and support. Paranoid Kamikaze is a Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat. By default begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Looks like we have the Ultramarines DLC slightly recolored into a lighter shade of blue and some green thrown in there. Doom bolts, decent hit, and rounding off the teams is Uncle Goyslop with a Warboss, a melee hero through objects, very good offense, disruption, and support from the front lines. The Death Skulls elite scheme here, I think, kicking off in the mid. Plague champion versus Warboss. West side is Sorcerer versus Apothecary in on the CSM, and Sorcerer in turn in on the tax. They've obviously been healed since that Doom bolts. CSM getting quite low. The tax just popped their Kraken bolts, 20% more damage versus heavy infantry, and one of those CSM dropped. Don't think the Sorcerer's going to be able to get this done. Doom bolts is a small Doom bolts and it missed anyway. Through the mid though, the Orks have pushed through. FirefoxXxless has lost their heretics. They've got double Chaos Space Marines up, and those guys down to a single model. That was a rough fight for the Plague Champion there. Warboss getting some work done. Almost level 2 on his XP bar. Shooter boys decapping. They got double shooters up, did Uncle. DeleD with tax into some more scouts. And Kamikaze with just the tax up so far. We've got Aspiring Champion Heretics here for Gaius Baltar. Shotgun scouts in play too. Must have used their blast already, that's why they're retreating. These guys are also with shotguns. Again, must have used their blast, or they'd be using it. Apothecary, sorry, Force Commander trying to give chase here. Scouts dropped to model. A little bit sloppy, should have got them out of there. And a really good special from the Aspiring Champion, knocking down those attacks. The Heretics themselves cannot perform special attacks. Chaos Lord still nice and healthy. Trying to finish off one of those models, but got too close to base turrets. Force Commander now in on the Chaos Space Marines. Bolt Pistol might do some work here. Oh, that shot missed. They're getting awfully close to sluggers with burners. Yeah, need to run, fellas. Chainsword, I don't think you get another hit on those guys. You've got a War Banner in the mid. Popping its War ability, or Frazzle, or whatever it's called these days, which gives some, there's kind of slight bonuses, but they last 30 seconds and they stack with your War. Melee Plague Champion in play with the Plague Sword. Power weapon that ignores melee resistance and creates zombies on kill. Zombie Slugger right there. Hard Boys was on those sluggers, and that might have saved them actually. That's a global ability of the Warboss. Pain Boy also in play for those heal over times. Warboss getting quite low, but gets out. Plenty of zombies for the Plague Champion, but I think the special attack. If that special attack didn't come through, I think the Pain Boy would have taken him out. Pain Boy barely gets away. That was really close. 433 to 500. West side is red, and the Sorcerer is down over there. So maybe some XP for the Plague Champion if they get a revive. We've got Noise Marines up for Gaius Baltar. Havocs for WonderBread. Double CSM into Havocs actually, so solid army on that west side, but does need to deal with the Assault Squad supported by an Apothecary. Maybe we'll see those Purification Rites. Double Shotgun Scouts as we saw earlier from DeleD. Pain Boy does not fully heal up as after that fight, but he'll be alright, I think. Warboss with the cyborg implants help deal with the Aspiring Champion Heretics, that's for sure. Also help deal with the... Oh, there's no raptors. Havocs. Wow. Suppressing like 6 units there. Setting up a Doom Bolts. Very, very good hit, actually. Painboy might need to throw that Git Source out. Assault Squad jumping in. But is it a good idea to push here? Sorcerer consumes a Heretic. Eternal War for these Chaos Space Marines, and he's lost sight of them as WonderBread. It's being tied up by the Painboy. That's a little bit sloppy. Should have got those guys moving as soon as the Assault Marines jumped in, I think. Assault Squad did drop a model. Grenade was decent on the Heretics as they came in. Painboy going after them is double CSM from FirefoxXxless. One of them has Eternal War for the 20% damage bonus. Can they get another Assault Squad? Odd Boys thrown on them thanks to Uncle. They survive. West side now turning blue thanks to that Plague Champion. Maybe the Sorcerer could push through onto the power. Not a lot to push with, I suppose. And Firefox is going back to the mid to hold. Meanwhile, though, in the northeast, natural power for red being bashed thanks to Noise Marines of Gaius Baltar. They also have the Combi Flamer. Decapping the power, bashing gens. Heretic's going to take some shots. Those tacks are wasting their Kraken bolts they're shooting at the Heretic. Should have waited until some CSM were in play or something, or even those Noise Marines. Big stomp coming in from the Warboss. Gets in amongst the Havocs, gets them off the field actually. Plague Champion leads the line against the Orks. Looks like we have big shooters and shooter boys for both of those big shooters and knob leaders, I should say, for both of those shooter boys, I think. Nope, one of them doesn't have it. One of them only has the knob leader. Plague Champion getting in amongst them. Hasn't quite leveled yet. Decent Doom Bolts on those attacks, sends them packing. And west side stays blue for Chaos. 362, 476. Tier 2s all around. Paranoid Kamikaze with Librarian on the way. Surely they can take down this Ward banner now. Not sure what those CSM were up to. Maybe they were going for the power, but they got caught quite badly by Assault Marines jumping in. Only dropped one model, that's alright. And now these guys having to just kite with one and shoot with the other, basically. Anointed Power Axe in play for the Apothecary in Tier 2. Power weapon that drains energy and gives it back to the Apothecary. Pretty damn useful. Gives them 100 more health too. What is it? 50 DPS? Yeah, it's not the most insane DPS weapon, but a power weapon is a power weapon. Through the mid. Scouts turning this VP red. Well, they tried to. Shotgun blast comes in to save them. Chaos Thord can't quite get into retreat path. Neither could these Heretics. WonderBread with Bloodletters on the way, and they will give a hell of a fight to that Assault Squad. Has some Librarian support. And there's the Psychic Hood for Gate of Infinity. Teleport things out. Usually teleport them out of trouble. It's typically not used to get things into trouble. But I suppose it could be. Get it very quickly out of HQ into a fight, perhaps. Bang Bang Hammer now in for the Warboss. Buff on hit to surrounding allies, and also a trophy rack to debuff surrounding enemies. Chosen Plague Marines in here for FirefoxXless. Unique to the Plague Champion and power weapons that do damage over time. They also have a damaging aura that passively hurts enemies. And they can create zombies with Nurgle's Rot. There's Gate of Infinity right there. Used offensively to get those Assault Marines into some trouble. Chosen Plague Marines are quite low, but they haven't dropped a model yet. There we go. Now they're exploding and they die. FirefoxXless just runs them into death there. They got all strangely split up because of special attacks. If they weren't split up, that first model loss would have healed the others. But it didn't work out that way. And down goes the Plague Champion. FirefoxXless's Tier 2. Starts off poorly, let's say. Doom Bolts in on the Orks there. Bloodletters in play. Those guys are demons with power melee Hellblades. Painful for Marines to deal with. Able to slice them up pretty well. DeleD went Tier 3 and get a Force Commander Terminator. Or Terminator Force Commander, as it says there. Weird Boy on the way for Uncle Goyslop. Got some regular Plague Marines for Gaius Baltar with a missile launcher. From watching Gaius Baltar, it seems to be they go tier 2 and they get Plague Marines, which is typically a solid way to go, but maybe a bit more of a specialized pick would do better in some scenarios. If you're not sure though, get Plague Marines. They're tough. Have those damage over time bolt guns with a snaring missile launcher. They can just run into melee and annoy stuff because they explode. Solid choice. Chaos Lords level 2 with Armor of the Inferno. And a Combi Flamer is going for a fiery theme. 337 to 395 on the VPs. Kamikaze keeping his army nice and compact so they all get the health regen aura. Assault Squad jumping in. Bloodletters are there though. And there's Chains of Torment 2 from the Sorcerer. Heal. Looks like Purification Rites is in play because those Bloodletters were knocked back. I'm not sure why the Assault Squad stayed there for so long chained up. Maybe they were trying to shoot the mass of the chain, so that I couldn't quite see them try that. Got a zombie Orks over there. I think it just wiped out some shooter boys, I believe. Plague Champion went down again. Sorcerer may also go down. Yep, Librarian takes him out with Inspiration on kill. And a good Weird Boy shot too. Assault Squad did make it out. Shooter boys were indeed wiped out. Bloodletters, how are you fellas doing? Got a bit of XP. There's the Force Barrier from the Force Staff. 337, 379. Pretty close on the VPs. Red team will take the west side back. Plague Marines grabbing the eastern power point. No attempt to push through onto power. I don't think I've seen that one touched, or this one. I don't think. The ones on the east have been hit. Plague Marines didn't try to push through. Just going to take that eastern power point, and it is red here now. 2-1. Very late tier 2. No. WonderBread, was he starting tier 3 there and cancelled it? Looked like he just got into tier 2 when I glanced at the roster, but that can't be right. Got some Marco Zinch Chaos Space Marines, that's what we got. For Gaius Baltar. Shotgun Scouts messing up Heretics really badly, actually. They're going to wipe. They do wipe. That's sloppy from Gaius Baltar. Was trying to reface the Noise Marines and get these guys in play, I think. Back to the west side, kicking off. Got some Nurgle worship. Sorcerer gets revived, which I think leveled up the Plague Champion. There's the heal again. That's an Aura of Decay. So he's got Armor of Pestilence. Oh, and has Icon of Nurgle. Just passive damage around him. Perhaps not as useful against Space Marines because it's piercing damage. And heavy infantry have some resistance against that. Oh, Apothecary's down. I didn't actually confirm whether he had Purification Rites, but I think he does. Great work there from the Plague Champion. Took on a lot and kept going. Assault Cannon Force Commander Terminator here. Blast Master gets a very good shot on those shooter boys. Only killed 2 of them though. I guess it hit him square, eh? Oh, did they kill sluggers, not shooter boys? Yeah, I guess they did. Oh, it was that model I saw. I thought that was a shooter, but it was a burner. Double Marco Zinch. Yes, double Marco Zinch CSM. Bloodletters are phased out. I'm not sure what they were getting shot by. And that was the Chains of Torment again. From the Robes of Torment. Apothecary is back to his feet. And does indeed have Purification Rites. Also, Armor of Purity. So he can heal more often. And we got some Vanguard Veterans now. Resets their level. But they all get power weapons. They also lose their Melter Bomb if they had one. But it makes them better kind of straight up fighters. With more hit points and more impressive weaponry. But they're not going to like all this Marco Zinch CSM. Unless they can jump it all. They jumped a few of them there, but look at the damage now pouring in. Terminators hit the field for Kamikaze. Weird Boy tried to throw some shooter boys into play there, but it didn't quite work out. And they got hereticked by FirefoxXless's heretics. Warboss is there, don't need to be careful. Meanwhile, Librarian getting stuck in. Getting quite low. But did stand up pretty well to that. 11-20 hit points now on this guy. Big Stomp misses everything. Heretics need to try and control stuff with their Doom Blast. Nope, they're going after the Pain Boy. I thought they were going to Doom Blast the Warboss there. Pain Boy must flee. Plague Champion must flee. Warboss must flee. Can they get him? If they plant their feet and shoot? Probably not. Up over 70. They might have been able to. Terminators took a bunch of damage. They are also really not going to like all of these Mark Wazinch CSM with those Inferno Bolt guns. Nob squad on the field though for Uncle Goyslop. With Pain Boy and Warboss and Apothecary support, those guys could be very, very difficult to deal with. They have their Meaner and Greener. Now getting Nob Leader. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for DeleD, but blue team have taken back the west side and VPs are evened. Have they been pushing through the mid and grabbing VPs? I haven't really noticed. Is that Force Commander Terminator? Makes his way to the west side, wants some action. There's that Nob squad. They don't have their huge hammers yet. Wow, look at the damage to that Force Commander. It's a lot of damage. Chaos Lord just breaks stuff and then backs off. Didn't want to commit. I'm not sure what the Apothecary was doing there. Just maybe getting some vision. Where is the Land Raider going? Looks like it is going to the west side. Are you going to take your wreck point back, fellas? Look at this. There's that Land Raider. Flamestorm cannons on the side. Twin linked assault cannon and a multi-melter. Allows it to reinforce around it, heal off it, and retreat back to it. The Terminator squad are getting an assault cannon. We have some Chaos Terminators here. And surely we're going to see Lightning Claws so they can fight the Nob squad. But we'll see. The Chains of Torment is going to be useful for those Nobs, that's for sure. Here's a Foot of Gork from the Weird Boy. Big chunk of damage and the stun, so it's a nice tool to have against Terminators. Vanguard Veterans jumping in. They'll do a lot of damage to the Terminators with the power weapons, but they're trying to wipe out the Havocs. And can they jump again? They are trying to jump again, but they're taking huge amounts of damage. I think they're going to go down. They do go down. And those Havocs got away, I believe. Nob squad now in on the Terminators, having to teleport away. They don't have their Lightning Claws. They only have 37 to 50 hit points out the gate. Get 4,500 with their claws. Pin has to flee as well. They've got an Apothecary, a Nob squad, a Warboss, Land Raider, Terminators. Red team looking very, very strong all of a sudden in Tier 3. Coming out swinging. There's some more Terminators for Firefox. Still no sign of Lightning Claws. There's the Chains of Torment. Wasn't used on the Nobs, but it was used on something. Bloodletter's having to phase shift. Got some Khorne worship here, helping out this Mark of Khorne Chaos Predator. Getting too close to the Nob squad though. That thing needs to full reverse. It needs to keep moving. Just got to go give it one big move order. Oh, the Nob squad stopped chasing it. I think they could have finished it off there with a melee charge. I think they could have. We do have some Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators for Firefox. They will put that Nob squad on notice. What about these guys? Oh, we got an autocannon from WonderBread. More of a generalist upgrade. Good damage to all targets. Helps you get those inspirations on kill. Sorry, demoralizations on kill from long range. Power was bashed. Plague Champion himself, level 5. He's done well. And Aura of the K can be used to knock back the Nob squad as well. Got to try and save it for those guys, I think. More Terminators coming in from DeleD. Did not go Assault Terminators. There's Gate of Infinity just to get those guys back a bit further. Zap thrown in from the weird boy that's going to jump around and do damage as it does. Yeah, there it is. Trying to separate them. There we go. Dealt with. Couldn't jump that far. 265, 153, 2-1 for red, and they are stacking on this west side. Going to be a bit of a meat grinder here. And it can be tough to go through the mid. You see Uncle Goyslop taking his kind of... Well, he's very mid now, but it was kind of half mid, half west. So you can spot anything coming through. They might need to go up the eastern side to get around to the VP. Meanwhile, Doom Bolts and Marquezine CSM trying to get some stuff done. That was a Cyclone missile launcher hit from DeleD's Terminators. Force barrier. Terminator trying to dodge it. Couldn't quite. That one guy got messed up. What level is the Warboss? Level 6. And having that trophy rack around will be good against the Lightning Claw Terminators. But it doesn't seem like he's with his army right now, the Warboss. 2-3-2-1-5-3. Plasma Cannon Devastators getting wrecked by Marquezine CSM, but they're going to get away, I think. Yes, they got away. And that is Gaius Baltar decapping their power. They're trying to get the... There it is. They're trying to get the Land Raider to come and rotate mid and get away from the west side. Maybe they can push the west now. Look how messed up these Terminators are, though. They're really far forward. They're not going to make it out. Did they really... Oh, they got in... Did they really not have their teleport? Aura of Decay knocks down an entire army. And then the Plague Champion probably dies. Yes, that was sloppy from Firefox. Shouldn't be throwing your Terminators that far forward when they don't have a teleport. I guess they used it offensively, I don't know. I mean, that far forward, the teleport might have not even been able to get you away. Not like Space Marines where you have the Librarian to get them out of trouble. Got to be very careful with your Chaos Terminators. Nob Squad through onto the Noise Marines, smacking them to death. Red team in the ascendancy here, I think. Can they get the west side back and locked down, though? Chaos Terminators took a bunch of damage. Nob Squad still on the rampage with Warpath. Very cool looking special attack from the weird boy, but didn't hit anything with it. And there's a Warp Vomit. He's such awesome support for a Nob Squad, the weird boy. With Warpath and Warp Vomit setting up attacks. Chains of Torment comes in just in time. I think that squad was saved definitely by that. Here's another tank. No mark on it yet. Some Havoc's up with a Heavy Bolter might do some work here, but when you're at this stage in the game, players want to get like a big impact unit that's going to kill a bunch of stuff. But I think just a simple Heavy Bolter here would help trying to stimmy the tide of those Orks that are freely just moving around here. Maybe even the Plague Champion switch to a Bile Spear would be good. Red team's natural decapped. Really well played by Gaius Baltar to keep the pressure up on this side. Completely bashed and decapped the power. Heretics white though. The Shrine to Khorne spitting out bloodletters. Tank trying to get away. Doing a lot of damage to those Terminators. Didn't those Terminators just teleport as well? I think they did. Marquezine CSM are going to shoot them down, I believe. They're trying to stay moving, but they need to plant their feet and shoot for full accuracy. There we go. Cyclone missile launcher. Tried it. Down go those Terminators, that's for sure. Red team got their natural VP back west side. It's turning blue, you know. I thought the red team were going to run away with this. But another Land Raider for Kamikaze. Not sure what happened to DeleD's. Was not paying attention at all to that. But it did go down. Gaius Baltar has another tank. This one badly needs repairs. It's in base, but doesn't have anything to repair it. Getting some heretics up now. This one's going to be Mark of Khorne 2. Level 4 Chaos Lord in play. Uh-oh. Comes a Nob Squad and a Warboss, and they're all pissed. Imperial Abyss. Very strange time to use it. It's going to get some kills pulling them in, I think. But yeah, that was a very odd way to use it. With an army, like, on the move. Now it's pulling in the Chaos Lord. Nob Squad popping their frenzy. Heretics need to stop worshipping and start suppressing. There we go. Base turrets finally kicking in. Frenzy wore off, I guess. 189 to 147. Both of those tanks survive, and blue team still have the west side in. Look at the damage these Terminators are taking. They are reinforcing. How'd he port them? It was probably the Librarian, buddy. Probably some Gate to Infinity action. 174 to 147 on the VPs. Massive armies for the red team. But they're not stacking up on the west side anymore, are they? Blue team capping their natural back. Terminator is trying to cap. Is that plasma attacks? No, it's not plasma attacks. That was a hell of a smite on those CSM. Doesn't want to lose this Librarian. He's doing some good work. Might go down here. Does go down. A little bit sloppy with that Librarian. Las Cannon is getting shots in. And now it's the Sorcerer trying to cap. With some Terminators helping out. With the pungent odor. What is this? Oh, taking back their power and repairing a tank. Librarian is replaced by a Paranoid Kamikaze, which I think is a good shout. There's the Foot of Gork. It gets them off the cap, you know. Good Doom Bolts on those shooters. Here come Commandos with Love the Daka. Look at that disruption on those double CSM. Subjugated Nob Squad now. That must have been what happened. He must have subjugated the Terminators, teleported them, and then as soon as they weren't subjugated, Kamikaze Gate of Infinity them away, and he was confused by the teleporting. Here's Terminators trying to get the cap, and they get it. Took a bunch of damage, but they did it. Lost the model. Is it just going to turn red immediately? Sorcerer goes down. Auto Cannon Havocs trying to set up, maybe. There we go. Comes the Warboss, level 8, soaking up huge amounts of damage, and Flash Gits now with their blasters. Land Raid is staying really far back for Kamikaze, giving them all somewhere to retreat back to, which allows you to put so much pressure on here. Those guys are looking real hard at the power there. Red team taking the west side back. VP's very even. 151, 142. Plague Champion down. Sorcerer also down. Where's the Chaos Lord? Going for the Plague Champion, I think. Level 4 Marco Zine CSM. And we have a Nurgle tank for Firefox. This guy gets a bunch of hit points, health regen, and a melee resistance. But it is slowed down. And its autocannon isn't quite as effective versus large targets, but does have some damage over time. Nurgle Stink for infantry. Chaos Lord is going to get a revive and get a level. And just go straight for the VP. Apparently so is the Plague Champion. Sneaky scouts now. Might see a couple of grenades coming in. Yup. Got damage. Plague Champion's here to try and help, but down goes the Chaos Lord. Gaius Baltar maybe trying to micro his tanks over. On that power again too. 116 to 142. West side is red with outrageous amounts of stuff just hanging out here. Daring them to push. No great unclean ones, eh? Maybe WonderBread could get one. DeleD with triple las cannons here. There's an orbital from I think DeleD. I'm not sure. They certainly have less red. Could not get close to the VP. Nob squad taking some friendly fire from the weird boy. Orbital, I don't think hit anything, but did stop them trying to rotate out here. But maybe if you let that tank drive in, it would have got las cannoned. Can they finish off the Havocs here? Not quite. Terminator's now getting wrecked by huge Ammo Nob squad level 3 as well. And the flash kits are level 2. Uh-oh. Warp vomit on the Terminators, and down they go. That was quite painful. And then they get tossed away by the weird boy. Nicely done by Goyslop. Level 4 weird boy. He's done really well, that guy. Tanks through the mid, stacking up. More Terminators of Firefox. And Plague Marines on capping duty. There is a Rocks from Uncle. Nicely avoided. Well, for the most part, that one took some hits. Good guys, Baltar avoided it for the most part. 53 to 142. They really can't touch the west side if it stays like this. Got to try and work the mid and drag these guys around. Tank busters now for Uncle. WonderBread down to just 2 units. They're both leveled up Marco Zinc CSM though. Big stomp on those Terminators. They do have claws again for Firefox, and again, they're really far up the field. Librarian getting that las cannon into play to get some shots in. Imperial Abyss from Gaius Baltar. Terminators are kind of running into it there. Down goes that Predator. This las cannon doing a lot of work. And another tank goes down. Well played, this Librarian, getting that guy into position. Holy crap, did they take out 4 tanks there? That was awesome. Well done, Paranoid Kamikaze. Guys, Baltar's down to just Heretics, now getting a great unclean one. Terminator's having to teleport away. Nob squad needs to be careful, though. That's a lot of stuff arrayed against them. Tank Buster Barrage. Even if they do decap this VP, it's going to be so hard for them to hold it. Chaos. Now this is a bit thinner over here now that they've dragged some stuff over. Plague Champion, level 7, going for the Plague Fist now to help him cap, but goes down. Here comes some shooty Orks. Got tank busters in there as well. Level 9 Warboss. Been awesome. Another Chaos Predator. How many have there been? Like 6? Doom Bolts? No Doom Bolts. He was looking at him, but there was no Doom bolting. Do blue team have another push in them? They're very, very depleted now. Very, very depleted. Well, here's a great unclean one. Super unit for Chaos. Greater Demon with tons of hit points. Passively damages nearby enemies. Has some cool abilities. And, you know, big old chunky cleaver he smacks you with. Is he going mid? There's some Terminators. Down to 31 VPs. Last hurrah for the Chaos team. Plasma Cannon with a good hit. Great Unclean One's going to be in for a rough fight. There's the Foot of Gork. That Weird Boy's been amazing. Subjugated Terminators here. Great Unclean One is just locked down with snares. Look at all the las cannons. So much damage. Nurgle Vomit down to 15 VPs now. Noxious Cloud in the back. Great Unclean One is down. Might need to get away from it though, fellas, because that thing's going to explode. There's a Dark Flames. Don't think it's going to do much. Everything's healing off the Land Raider. Oh, Imperial Abyss goes off right at the end. That would have been quite tasty, actually. But red team take it. Once tier 3 rolled around, they were pretty solid. There were some good pushes though from the blue team with the tanks and stuff, but it's just so hard to deal with this combination of stuff. Space Marines and Orcs supporting each other. Level 4 Chaos Sorcerer had a level 7 Plague Champion. Maybe the Plague Fist a bit earlier, or the Bile Spear. I still think that's kind of an underutilized weapon in late game 3v3s when you're trying to stop a Nob Squad and stuff. Level 6 Chaos Lord down. We had a Force Commander Terminator, of course. He was floating all of the resources at the end, just couldn't buy anything else. Level 10 Warboss and a level 9 Apothecary. It was an awesome game. Very, very good Weird Boy usage. Some very cool Librarian usage too. Good stuff. The support here, the support sub-commander fellas doing some good work here. There you have it, guys. Yes, I know this was another 2981 game, but I couldn't resist triple chaos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.